Tamira's round table.
Come on, y'all.
Say what you want. Say what you mean.
Yeah.
Tamira's round table. Oh.
Come on, y'all. Let's get it.
Hello, I am Tamira, and welcome to Tamira's Round Table. So listen, in my opinion, when you say the word church, church to me means love. That's all it means. We as people, I believe, we divide and we separate things, and we believe in this and we believe in that and that up there and that down there. And to me, it all boils down to love, right? Am I wrong? God is love? Okay.
Yes, God is a woman.
One issue that I'd like to discuss is gays in the church and also becoming pastors and bishops, etc. I personally, I'm okay with it. I try my best not to judge. Love is love, and if someone is showing me love, that's what I go according to, not what they do behind closed doors on their own time. But the way you treat people, in my opinion, is what matters the most. We have some heterosexual people who treat people terribly. We have some gay people who treat people terribly. We have gay people who treat people wonderfully, and we have heterosexuals who treat people wonderfully. To me, it's not about your sexual orientation or what you choose, but it's how you live your life and how you treat people. So how do you feel about gays in the church and having a platform in the church to minister to people in a place where people are so critical of each other? Let's get it. What do you think?
Okay.
Well, the Bible first says, they that worship me must worship me in spirit and in truth. Mm-hmm. And so if you're coming any other way other than truthful, whatever your authentic self may be, even if it includes you being homosexual, heterosexual, I believe when you are being true to God and you are doing the things that God has called you to, whether you are heterosexual or homosexual, you are in line and on purpose doing the things that God has called you to do. Right. So I feel that people are people. And it said many are called, but few are chosen. Who's to say if you're homosexual, you're not being called?
Exactly.
All right, but how about the Catholic priests? Over the past few years, there have been
Molesting them young men.
concerns about the Catholic priests of having sex with
Do you think they're gay? Because
Not
a lot of those,
necessarily.
exactly,
Not
and that's the point.
necessarily, you really don't have to
But
be
that's
gay.
the point. That's the point.
However,
a lot of them are not. A lot of them are not confirmed to be gay men. They're just perverted men who are molesting children in their church
but
who
if
look
they're
up to them.
molesting children, they're only molesting
Boys. But there's a
So
reason
wait,
why.
let me finish
Go ahead.
because I'm going somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so
Here we go.
they're over here and they're molesting boys.
Right.
But because the church demonizes or perverts the idea of being homosexual and you're a person who wants to be, live out your sexuality and being gay, you're not able to do so. Just like every other DL person does dangerous things and things they probably, shouldn't have no business doing, or to the extreme. A lot of people who are closeted are not able to live out their true authentic self. It's been proven that they go to certain extremes.
Technically,
Perhaps,
it
I'm not
doesn't
saying
mean
this is fact. I said perhaps if these bishops, these people in, on these platforms in the
Exactly.
church, if they're able to give an opportunity to live out their sexuality without judgment, then possibly they wouldn't be using their power to have sex with boys, because if they're just being perverts, like I said earlier in the other episode, perversion and sexuality are two completely different
I
things.
dig it.
So the fact that they're only having sex with little boys, for me, that sounds like that leans towards sexuality, being same sex or homosexual. You having sex with children is the perversion.
Right.
So that's where it gets a little bit confusing.
Priests normally do what they do simply because of their creed. They can't have sex with women. So, real talk.
No,
they cannot have sex with women, but they're still men.
Or anyone.
Oh, no. It's only women.
Women, they can't get married.
They can't get married. It's only women. So how do they get they rocks off?
Well, you're
I
talking
still don't
about
see that.
That's corny right there.
Yeah.
I can't even get with that.
But that's not me. That's what they do. That's their creed. Even still, their creed. I'm not a priest.
can bring something out of you that ain't already in you.
Right.
Because I don't care if somebody, you know, if I was told I'd be sent to prison for the rest of my life if I ever had sex with a woman, that's not gonna make me desire a little boy.
Thank
You
you.
know what I'm saying? So,
Come on,
like
now.
you said, one thing has nothing to do with the other. And as far as, you know, all of a sudden this platform where people are becoming bishops, preachers, this and the other, but a closet,
Titles.
that's been going on since the beginning of conception of
Thank
religion.
you.
I think
As a
And
matter of
that's-
fact, now I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a
Yeah.
very religious person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm not trying to put down anybody else's,
Right.
you know, religious
Right.
beliefs or anything, right? But I do a lot of research and whatever, and I may be wrong, but from what I understand, a lot of the people that actually started what we call, well, some versions at least of the King James version of Christianity, this and the other, went around practicing these
pedophile.
homosexuality.
Atrocities.
King James was gay.
King James, exactly. King James and a child molester.
And
And
a
the
drag
thing is,
queen.
And he
and
cut
the
his
thing
balls.
is, and the old he supposedly developed a clever way of getting away with his sins. Because if I'm going around raping little boys, okay, I don't care who I am, okay.
Right.
One day, chickens are gonna come home to roost. They're gonna come after me. So you know what I'm gonna say? Oh, you know something? God just told me we are all new creatures in Christ Jesus now. All sins are past. You know, this thing that person you were that happened to, you are no longer that person now. I just found a clever way of getting away with my crimes.
Well, can
So
I?
that's been happening since the beginning.
Right.
So all this is nothing new. These things are red herrings, diverting us from more important issues.
Exactly.
let's
And
not
I
say-
mean that-
Wait, Mitch, I'm sorry, Mitch, what do you think about that?
I think that we should just not be judgmental. If even it don't matter who King James was, none of that matters, because in the Bible, if you read the Bible, Jesus never asked anyone that came to him for healing or for deliverance, or whenever he was speaking to the multitudes of people, he never said, wait a minute, what's your sexuality first? Or, wait a minute, what is your crime? Or why is you standing in front of me? I mean, when the Pharisees and the Sadducees snatched the woman out of adultery, the Bible says that they snatched her out of the very act of adultery and brought her before the master. So if you're in adultery, you're naked, you're having sex, and the people come and they snatch you out and they place you before Jesus. And so here she is standing here naked. Now, Jesus never said to her, why are you naked? They didn't even bother to put any clothes on her. So my point is that I don't think that it's so much, I think that, yes, it matters in doctrine, but ultimately, it's nobody's business what you do behind closed doors. What's important is what's in your heart, how you're living. So if a preacher is gay, it's not my business.
Right.
Now, if he does something to offend me, then it is my business.
Right.
And I have the right to speak about it as the person being offended. But if they standing up there preaching and everything that they say is truth, then I don't have a right to say, well, wait a minute, he's gay. Who says what qualifies
Right.
me
Yeah,
to
you
say
see,
that someone is gay based on the
Jesus
fact
was
that
judgmental though.
See, but you know what,
let me
this
say-
let me mix this up, please. First of all, church, to me, has come a long way from God. It's supposed to be about love, like you said. And they got too many other programs up in there that I don't care about. Homosexuality, hoes, whatever it might be. And people messing with kids, I can't take it. And so I got out of church. Oh, you gotta be married, my wife, but you ain't faithful to your wife.
Right,
You said you gotta please God with your whole heart. You got. If I don't see you doing that, you can talk about God all day. You can say all the right thing, God, you living it. And if you're not living it, it don't mean nothing. to you.
Exactly.
Another thing
I
I want
agree.
to say,
That's me.
that's me.
100%.
I want to say is that, like this wonderful woman said, to worship God in spirit and in truth.
Right.
Yes, God is love.
Right.
If God called you to be the minister, God called you to be the minister, and you are homosexual or you're straight, you are just delivering His word. You are just a messenger to help the people. Your sexuality has nothing to do with that. God said, "Come to me in spirit and in truth." If you empower somebody and you say something positive to them to make their day better, to make their life better, I believe that your sexual orientation has nothing to do with that. If God called you to do that, that's what it's all about.
Well, that's a small- that's a small-
Like Mitch said out of her mouth, Yeah, kind of got like, come back to me.
Well, look,
For me personally, I feel like sexuality does have something to do with it because if in very specific situations, I won't say every situation, but if you're standing before the people and you are a person who might be same gender loving, and you are yet you're still showing love, you are showing these people that hey, you're one, or creating this idea of I've been delivered from homosexuality and I've been accepted into the love of God. I'm sorry, for me being someone who is same gender loving, it is very important for me to see someone who is same gender loving, and for me to know that they are same gender loving in a platform, worshiping and leading God, because it gives me hope to let me know that I can do the same thing. Yes. And for me, a person who is a part of the LGBT community and all that I've seen us go through, it's very important for me to see that. And for me, it is important. Whether you're gay, straight, bi, or tri, it's not about your sexuality, it's about you being all of who you are in God. And so every part of you is important for me to see, because I want to know that you can come to God as you are, in spirit and in truth, entirely. Now, I don't need to be all up in your business. No. I don't need to know who
But
you
Nico, what I was saying
but
was,
it is very important. It is very important. If you are a homosexual person, then for me, I think it is important for people to know. I'm not saying that you have to make that your message for every sermon, but it's people for you to show who you really are.
Oh, they're going to know, but that has nothing to do with me when it's time for the Word of God to go on. When it's time for the Word of God to, I am just a messenger. What I'm saying, of course they're going to know your sexual orientation. They're going to know that. But when it's time for the Word of God to go on, it's the Word of God. We are in worship. We are in worship. We're worshiping God. We're not here to be saying, oh, he's preaching, but he's gay. How's he preaching?
No.
One thing I'm seeing right now, and I'm honestly seeing right now, there are a lot of heterosexual people that I talk to. And when this topic comes up, people are very verbal about it. And right now, people seem to be very quiet about
I'm about to talk.
The ones, so I would like to hear really what people really think. Don't just say whatever you feel sounds good for the moment.
Oh no.
Let's keep it real right now.
Right in his act.
And when you see a gay preacher walk by you, let's keep it real with the reaction you give and all that. Let's keep it real right now.
Right.
Okay?
I want to know about following
gay people in the church who are pastors and bishops.
And I already did that. Not only for that reason, but for all the phony stuff that goes on in church, because I'm not phony.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
And whatever I say I'm going to be about, I'm about that.
Right.
But I don't sit around and worry about why you the way you are, who you laying up with. If I got to do all that, I got to go. Okay? Because I got to do me. And I don't go around trying to judge nobody. Right. But I'm not going to follow nobody that's not who I feel they're supposed to be.
Right.
As far as God sent them.
Right.
And how he made them.
Right.
And messing with his will, because I don't disrespect God.
Right.
Okay? So that's how I feel about it. And if I don't feel that you're living in God's will and you trying to take his word and make it the way you want it, because I see people change his word every day. And mess with his creations, change, talking about they sex. I don't want to be who are you to tell God that he's wrong? You got a lot of heart to curse and tell God that he's wrong.
That goes with
Anything that God said was wrong, and I believe God. And nobody's going to tell me not to believe him. And don't try to criticize me because I have a different belief and I want to believe what I want to believe. And you want to make me feel I'm wrong because I don't believe you.
So let me ask a question. Does everybody believe that God made every human being walking on this earth?
Yes.
So
he made everything because they
right.
made
Okay,
that's not true.
Okay, so
that's not true.
Name me one person
Let me ask
in
you
the
a question.
world that can make a fly. That's the simplest thing I can think of.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask a question.
I'm sure you remember the 1970s.
Okay.
And in the 70s, you never saw a cockapoo.
A who?
Why? Because cockapoos didn't exist in the 70s. Okay? They didn't exist. What that is, that's a hybrid dog. Just how when you was a child, I'm assuming you never ate a seedless grape.
I did.
I went as a child.
Yes.
They didn't have.
My mama fed me.
I don't know your age, so pardon me. But
I'm 63 years old, by the way.
as a 41-year-old man, I never saw seedless grapes when I was a child. Okay, seedless grapes are manufactured. You can't.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
So my point is that there's entities that are coming along that never existed before. So when we say there's nothing new under the sun, well, some.
Yeah.
And when we say that we got to be in the truth, How many people know the truth?
Right.
So how can we say that the truth? First of all, everybody here, if your book says that God is the Alpha through Omega, then how can you just be man?
Right.
I think religion.
All right?
All of
That's
us got
no fact.
names.
So you just can't be man if you're everything.
Yeah.
And if you're everything, you just can't be good. You gotta be bad too.
Yes, sir.
Well,
So-
both
Yes,
entities
sir.
are entities.
And
So
you-
you
so
gotta
that being
choose
said-
which one you want to be
Wait,
the
he's
most.
gonna-
No. You don't have to
Church-
choose. You just do what you do. What happens is we get infused by things that are not us.
Right.
So we start wanting to be those things.
Right.
Okay? My God says that a man and a woman get together and they have a child.
Right.
And the reason for sex is procreation.
Right.
Not entertainment.
Right.
A man and a man cannot have sex and procreate.
Right.
A woman and a woman cannot have sex and procreate.
Tell it, brother.
Therefore, it is non-cipher in my paradigm. That don't mean
It's
in your
not God's
paradigm.
It doesn't work.
I co-sign that, but I'm not gonna say it.
Right. And so I think
See,
about
that's what I'm
church.
trying to tell you.
Once you-
See, that's the difference with me. Because I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what I believe deep
Right.
in my soul.
Right.
I'm going to say what my mama taught
Now,
me about Jesus.
I would
She ain't
suggest,
talking
as
about
opposed
all
to
this stuff
believing,
these people bring to you.
No.
Let's get some knowledge.
No.
Because in the middle of believe is a lie.
Lie. No bull. Church in and of itself is a creation of the state.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
never been a temple
All
for
this
God.
stuff mixed
Never
into our religion.
been a temple for God. Your temple for God is your body.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
So anywhere you go, you are in the presence of your God.
Right.
You know what I mean? So whenever I hear people talk about church and how they feel and all this other stuff, all of that really is irrelevant. Because
Right.
however you want to live your life, you're going to live it.
Right.
But at the same
And I'm
time,
going to live my life in God.
Right, let her.
The way I believe.
Okay.
And
let her-
to me, religion is part of the problem.
Definitely.
Because religion causes more segregation and more separation. Because my religion's right, your religion's wrong. Religion right now is saying that gay people can't be married, that they can't have children, that it cannot be this, it cannot be that. It's all it's doing is causing more segregation. Do you ever think you want to reach the younger people by accepting gay men as a preacher, as a priest, as whatever? Because it really doesn't matter what they do behind closed doors. So let's accept them. Let's get more people into the church, out of the streets, causing problems and things like that. And maybe more of a sense of community and talk, listen to their experience. It's a different experience. But right now, all religion does is segregate.
Segregate.
I was Catholic,
And I
my
say-
God, and
and
No,
criticize.
but another thing too.
Criticize.
Michelle,
Another-
can I just say one thing too? What I don't agree with what you're saying about closed doors. See, you keep saying that, and that's not true. You know why? Because look at the children and people suffering behind closed doors. Okay? And every day you see how people being murdered, tortured, all kinds of behind. Then that same person is up in the church leading people, preaching.
That's
Do you
different from being
think?
a
But do you think a
homosexual.
heterosexual pastor is any better?
No.
Exactly.
No.
So you can't really
You
say
can't say this about homosexuality.
what you just said. You can't really say that because everybody's doing that. What you just said. You understand?
But that's
Straight
what I'm saying.
and
You're
gay.
saying, okay, but I'm putting that on everybody.
Right.
I'm not saying just the gay people.
Right.
I'm talking about anybody
Right.
that is not truly living God's word the way they claim they believe.
Which is
But we're
90% of the church.
But we're talking about-
Which is
That
90% of the
they-
church.
that they
But the
are
topic
true.
is not, we're not talking about everybody yet. Again, when we're answering these
Right.
questions, we have to
Talking
stay
about-
on topic.
Exactly.
The topic is, how do you feel about a homosexual?
And
I
church.
told you already.
All right,
I
let me
wasn't
ask you,
So
talking.
all the other
Just
stuff,
to
all
let
the other
me
stuff
know
is
it.
irrelevant.
Okay, here's the
because there's
question.
good and bad people, whether you're homosexual or you're
Right,
heterosexual.
Well, I
Now,
don't
I wanted to get on that.
Wait, let me just ask you a question right before you
no,
go.
No, because you had a comment. You
Yes,
said
sir.
something about procreation, that we were pretty much, because of a personal belief system, is that you feel like a lot of people, I won't say you, I'll say a lot of people feel like we were put on here to reproduce. So the reason for you being with the person that you so-called
Didn't
are
say
in
that. I
love
said
with-
sex is for procreation.
Sex is for
Yeah,
procreation.
I didn't say we're here to do that because there's some women who can't bear children.
Right.
There's some men who, that doesn't make you less of a person.
Yeah.
But the act of sex
Is for
procreation.
Yes,
That's
it
my
is.
point.
Sexual
Yes, it
for
is.
procreation and procreation only. It's not for an enjoyment.
Sex is sex is not.
So if
no,
I'm having sex with you and I'm just trying to make it, well then.
It's caused by enjoying it.
I mean,
I'm
you
confused.
can't
That
enjoy sex
confuses
for
me,
me.
because if I think I'm just gonna get with you just to, for
there's-
me, I did it just for me.
That's
If I'm gonna have sex with
suicide.
you only for
There
you to
is
make me a baby,
Okay, one second.
oh God, I would have never
Now,
had
wait,
sex.
this
One sec.
society took it
Yeah.
way
Right,
out.
yeah, one second.
There's a difference with religion where it's saying that you must, a lot of the traditional things out of the Bible do not fit in present time.
It doesn't.
They
Yeah.
do not fit, and there's no reason to keep those traditions just for the sake
But
of
the-
tradition.
but the-
Why can't a
That's
gay
the
man
word.
make a good
Nah.
priest? Why can't he speak the word of
That's the
God?
word.
Because-
It makes no
Well,
sense.
yeah.
No, it makes sense just like this. It makes sense.
That's
why we don't follow the
racism and white
book. We
supremacy.
don't follow the book.
I'll put it like that.
Right.
Racism and white supremacy is the true problem of religion. And
We don't
yes,
follow the book.
yes, you just said there's a problem with it. In society, this society day and age, especially in the United States, our number one problem, whether you black, white, purple, green, is racism and white supremacy.
Okay.
All they, listen, hold on, no, right and exact. White people always wanted to segregate. They wanted to segregate themselves and
Everybody
control
has
everything
it.
else.
Yeah,
But
right.
we, you gotta remember,
Right.
we came as slaves. We learned what they taught us.
Right.
So if
Well,
we're doing
Come
it
on,
today,
but everybody, like, even, listen, no, because I'll be in the salon with, you know, getting a pedicure and hearing about little girls in their own family, okay, in either a Caribbean home or a black home, that if the light-skinned little girl gets bullied by her cousin, who's the darker-skinned girl.
That's racism.
So there is still, it doesn't matter if you're white, you're Puerto Rican, you're black, there is still, even within all of that, human nature is there are categories within categories. There are
But there's
discrimination.
a
It's human nature. It's just
back to
like
the
everybody gotta
subject.
be put in a box.
Back to the subject that Tamira had said.
But that's not human nature.
Back to the
Hold on, one
subject.
second. Go ahead, let her speak.
My church is a very open, loving church. We pride ourselves on that. The assistant
Mine's too.
pastor is gay, and he opens up the service on Sunday. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight. We are all children of God, and we are here to serve and deliver a message. That's it. We're here to love each other. No, when you walk into church, there's no papers that, okay, you gay or straight, you gotta sit over there, you gotta do.
No.
No, none of that. No, you're only gay if you say you're gay. No one's gonna walk up to you and say, I'm gay. I mean,
But that's the
who
thing, though.
volunteers that? I mean, we're human.
Your actions say, I have rarely seen a gay person that doesn't portray their gayness. What? In their walk and their talk.
I've seen it.
I think everybody.
You wouldn't even know that.
Okay.
What does gay look like? All right, hold on.
Hold on.
I can explain what gay looks like. As a man, gay is feminine.
Yes.
As a
No,
woman,
men have been-
gay
no,
is
it's
masculine.
not true.
Now,
That is not
hold
true.
on. I said from the beginning, in most cases. So I'm leaving open the door that it's not a totality. So if you fit in that percentage that's not the totality, stay in that percentage. But
For the most
real
part.
talk,
For the most part.
whether it's the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way that you know what?
Mannerisms.
As a man that has,
So how do you
hold on,
tell-
hold
how
on.
do you
As
tell
a
the
man,
woman's gay then?
as a heterosexual man that has hair, I'm clear that hair length doesn't connotate to femininity.
Well, I disagree.
However, I'm going down the block with my daughter. I got her on my shoulders, and we're walking. And she said, "Dang, look at that lady with the pretty hair," and it's a man. So now I have to explain to my 3-year-old that
why
I
though?
never
You
had
don't.
to talk about.
Yes, you do, 'cause that's
She
not a
just
woman.
made a
That's not a woman.
mistake
That's
and
not a
assumed
woman.
that that man was
Was
a
a
woman.
woman. That's not true.
Therefore, you're confusing my child, and I have to
we
address
have
whatever my
generalized
children are
the
confused.
idea that women
It's not
have
generalized.
long
That's a
hair.
3-year-old.
Did you not
Men
hear
are
that I
supposed
said
to-
that as a
No,
man
see,
with
no,
long hair,
I
I'm
heard
clear
that.
on
No,
that.
I heard that. But I'm addressing what
But
you're
what about a
talking
cancer
about.
patient?
You're addressing
who has
a
no
point and
hair
not
on
my
his
point.
head? And you have a
Back to
3-year-old
the
saying
topic.
that a man.
We're talking about a girl sees a man with long hair and with pretty hair, as she said.
It was silky
Of
too.
course,
That shit
no,
was, it was texturized and all that.
I'm just saying. That's based upon what she knows, based upon a general idea of people, is that women have straight, beautiful long hair. But that is not the truth. Just
And
say,
you're
wait,
right.
let me finish.
And you're
Just
right.
the same way as the idea of femininity. Women have masculinity and femininity going through estrogen and testosterone in their bones, just like men. But because of a certain way that society has a certain view, and we've been conditioned to say that femininity makes you gay. There are straight people
No.
who have been more
Real talk.
femininity than
That right there, that was more
from
than
their sexuality. That's completely
You
different.
know something?
Completely
I
different.
think people are really like over
Judgmental.
exaggerating a lot of things here and getting away from the original point.
Question.
The original point was, how do you feel about a gay person, holding high?
Shit, Robert answered it.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? Simply put, from what I understand, I was brought up Christian, but like I said, I'm not, I'm just a spiritual person now. But when you accept Jesus as your personal savior, he forgives
Your
present,
sins.
past, and future sins.
Right.
So it doesn't matter which sin you are committing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
And they-
to the day you take your last breath, whether
You're a
you
sinner.
so-called exercise
Yeah,
that demonic spirit or any other spirits or whatever, you are still. It doesn't matter what you're preaching as long as you're preaching the gospel, right?
Okay,
And
so
you
let me
know
ask you
what?
this.
And it makes
But I
sense.
want to say
So why-
something.
and so
You
why
brought
does
up
it
something.
matter?
Everybody's not Christian.
Huh?
Everybody's not Christian.
But
Exactly.
Everybody's not
either way,
Christian.
Exactly, but
so
even
if
if
we're
it
gonna
is-
we base the whole world on what's supposed to be
Exactly.
the world based upon
Christianity.
one religion.
Exactly.
One of the newest religions out of the religions that are
Even
even on
the
this
context of the
earth.
question is in.
And
The context
it,
of the
it was
question.
about church, and there's
Right.
more than one kind of church.
Right.
As far as
Indeed.
the
Period.
last-
Period. But it's just funny how I just think it's really
Exactly.
funny how naturally we go towards
Christianity.
Christianity because
Exactly.
it's the dominant religion
Thank you.
in the world right now. But Christianity
It's
is
not. It's not.
We're not dominant
In this country.
In society,
And it's a society because the fact that we can all pick up what Jesus said and the Bible said, it proves in this conversation, in this model that we're creating, that it is dominant. Because we all went for the Jesus
Indeed.
card. We all went for what the Bible says. That's what we all went for.
Not all.
Collectively, I'm talking about as a group, not individually, but as a group.
But
A group, I mean, the majority of us went for the Bible, and we went for Jesus.
But most
So we
religions-
automatically assume.
Most religions don't accept gay anyway. It doesn't
Right.
really matter what religion
Well,
it is. They're
that's
not
true.
accepting of it.
My father, he's bisexual. He's been a preacher and a pastor for as long as I've been alive. You know what I mean? And I've watched him. He don't show no femininity or none of that stuff. How I found out he was bisexual is because when his boyfriend died, he was crying. I never seen my father cry for nobody. So you gonna cry for a man? Then my godmother told me that they had relations in the past type shit. So when I started to watch him and see how he moved and see how he moved the crowd, going back to the question, how do you feel about it? It depends on if they know.
But does
You mean if
anyone
the
know
crowd-
your
If the
father?
crowd knows,
Do
it
they
really
know?
depends.
Do they treat your father
They don't
differently?
know. They don't know.
So they didn't treat him.
They didn't treat him no kind of way. As a matter of fact, they loved him the most.
they shouldn't
But I
treat
do
him
know,
differently. Right.
real talk. But I do also
yeah.
know that the gay people in my church who were openly gay, they definitely was getting criticized.
Can I ask a
Definitely
question
getting
though?
And to me, that's not right.
Can I ask a
I
question?
mean,
though?
still
God is love.
You
Can I
ain't supposed to be criticizing nobody to tell you the truth.
Can I ask a
And
question?
That's one thing I don't like. They criticize a lot of things. It don't have to be gay. That's the thing I don't like.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
well,
right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
They talk too much about
You talking about
things
the
that
church.
don't have nothing to
You
do
talking about
with
the
God.
You talking about the local
And
church.
then
That's
they
about
sit there
church.
and swear that they live
Oh, and they holy.
They live by the Bible.
And
Yeah,
I'm
they
about
holier
to
than
say
thou.
this.
No, this is my thing.
Revolves around the Bible.
This is my thing, you know.
So I don't care about nobody being homosexual. That don't bother me. I don't care what you are.
Right,
Do
right.
you. Let me do me.
On that
Now,
note,
I'm sorry. I just want to, okay. When it comes to me, Tamira, I can honestly say I am not homophobic. I try my best not to
Of course
judge
you're
people.
not.
Because I don't want people, I don't want people to judge me, which they do all the time either. And a lot of times I'm judged by my appearance. When I walk into a church, which is so sad to me, I get the looks that could kill. Why? I guess I don't look like the typical church woman or something. So do I not have a right? Do I not have a right to sit here and talk to God and get out what I need to get out?
Going back to what I was saying.
There's so many issues, and we're not going to keep dwelling on this. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's always going to feel differently. Unfortunately, in this society, we judge too much.
Too harshly.
We judge too much. It's disgusting. And to say, the reason why I thought about the church is because, like I said, when it comes to church, for me, it's love. No matter what religion, love. When you see the person walking down the street, are you saying hello, good morning?
'Cause I love
Are
you.
you saying that? Are you looking at me nice? Are you smiling at me? Are you saying, Miss, you're really cute? Or am I saying to you, hey, you're a handsome little boy? Are you doing that to people as you pass them every day? No, we're not doing that.
No.
And my thing is, church or not, I don't go to church every Sunday. I was, but I saw things that I didn't really, and my thing is, if you're going to put yourself on a pedestal, I really need to see you be an example of that. Not judging you, I'm sorry, not judging you as a pastor or whatever, but if you're going to put yourself and give yourself a title, if you're going to call yourself my chauffeur, then you need to drive me to where I need to go. But if I come out to the car and you're leaning on the car like, well, Miss Sanders, I'm not in the mood right now to drive. Yeah, but you say you were my driver. That's the title you gave yourself. So what do I expect? If you are a pastor and you're behind the pulpit, I'm expecting something different from you. Because you put yourself there to be above everybody else, so called.
Tamira's round table.
Come on.
Say what you want. Say what you mean.
Yeah.
Tamira's round table. Oh.
Come on, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it.